Hi, John. How's it going?
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can. So,
Perfect. How
how's
are you, man?
fight week going? Pretty good, pretty good.
It's
How's fight week going for you right now?
it's going well. It's definitely a little bit different than any other fight week I've had. Obviously, with good, brother. How are you? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you. Is my connection good?
One second. Okay,
Can you hear
I think
me?
we got it.
Okay, cool. Nice, awesome.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can. Nice.
All right, perfect. Man, fight week it's going well. It's a little bit more hectic than normal, obviously, with COVID and being in Abu Dhabi. I'm flying from Minnesota, so we flew from Minnesota to Vegas, quarantined for 24 hours in Vegas, and then came to Abu Dhabi, tested here, quarantined for 48 hours, and then that was the start of my fight week essentially. So it's been a little bit crazier than normal, but it's fun nonetheless, man. I love the process.
Yeah. Is this the craziest fight week that you've had in your career so far?
Oh, absolutely. Between like I said, between the pandemic and having to travel over here on 2 weeks' notice, it's definitely been crazy for sure.
Yeah, and I saw that on your Instagram. You said that you had like an 8 week training camp for a fight on Fight Island. How certain were you that you would get a fight on Fight Island, and how's training camp been?
Um, I was actually there was zero. I was 0% certain that I was going to get a fight. Like I said, it was just something that had crossed my mind 8 weeks ago when I saw the cards were getting announced and they were getting filled up. I noticed that there was a couple bantamweight fights on every single card. And so mentally, I hadn't even talked to my manager about fighting on any of these cards. Mentally, I just made basically a little, almost like a goal, and told myself like, man, if
Hmm.
if anybody pulls out last minute, I'm going to be ready. So I started training hard, started a camp on my own, with obviously with my team and stuff, but it worked out well. I got my manager put in some work and he got me the opportunity. So, but at the time when I initially started my training camp, I had 0% certainty that I would be fighting.
Hmm. And has training camp been like really weird? Because I know like a lot of gyms closed down for COVID. But how has your gym been through all of this? Oh, did you hear me?
I'm sorry. One more time, brother.
So like a lot of gyms have been closed down during this whole pandemic. But how has your gym been through this year?
Yeah, at the beginning of the whole pandemic, our gym closed down, just like I'm sure every other gym nationwide or at least countrywide for the U.S. Um, but that didn't really deter me from stopping, or I'm sorry, from training at all. I actually started to build my own home gym in my house, in my basement. So that kind of gave me the opportunity. Obviously, being out of work, being without a gym, I got a lot of free time. So I built my own little gym in my basement, and me and my few small groups of small people in my training pod came over to my house every single day and trained hard. And then once our gym
Hmm.
opened up about a month later, we were able to transfer to the bigger facility and continue training hard. So it hasn't really been too crazy. Not much has changed in a sense of training.
Hmm. It's great to hear. And you're making your UFC debut against one of the top prospects outside the top 15 in Nathaniel Wood. What do you think he brings to the table, and what do you think of him as an opponent in general?
Yeah, Nathaniel Wood, he's a tough opponent. Absolutely. He's like you said, he's right there, top. I'd say top 20 in the world for sure. Um,
Hmm.
what he brings to the table, he's a fast opponent. He's very athletic. He's got good boxing. Um, yeah, I mean, he's a well-rounded dude. He's 3-1 in the UFC. How I see him a threat on the feet via boxing. but he's got 3 submission wins. So obviously, you know, that speaks volumes. He's obviously well-rounded. So much respect to him.
Hmm. And do you have like a Mystic Mac prediction for this fight?
No, man. I'm very confident that I have what it takes to beat anybody, you know, and 2 weeks notice or not, you know, I've been putting in work. I have a lot of experience. You know, I've been getting a lot of questions asked, like, you know, is this going to be crazy, you know, fighting in the UFC? Yeah, it is. You know, the UFC is the biggest stage in the world, absolutely. But, you know, at the end of the day, a fight's a fight. You know what I mean? And this is my 21st pro fight. I had 17 amateur fights before this. You know, I'm well versed when it comes to getting in a fist fight. So this is nothing new to me.
Hmm. And is this your first fight without fans? And do you think that takes away the octagon jitters of going in there?
I'm sorry, my first fight without what?
Oh, with is this your first fight without fans? And does that does like an empty arena kind of take away the jitters, like the octagon jitters a lot of fighters have?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 years ago, I actually fought on the Dana White Contender Series, and that was actually basically the same concept.
Hmm.
It was an arena filled with just essential personnel, no fans. So that's kind of how it is. I feel like that's how it's going to be right now. You know, tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Saturday night, come fight night, it'll be very similar to that 2 year ago fight. So
Hmm. And with the whole five islands, you had to get there. You had to take a lot of COVID tests. Were you worried about like? Were you kind of scared of taking the COVID test for the first time? And how was that like?
no, probably like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before I even took my first COVID with the UFC, my first COVID test with the UFC, I actually got one done at home as well. My wife had surgery, and so before she got surgery, she needed to get tested for COVID. So I got tested with her, and I didn't really think anything of it. I'm a pretty healthy person. Everybody I surround myself with is
Hmm.
pretty healthy. You know, I'm not really doing much during quarantine besides just training. So just being able
Hmm.
to hang out with the same people all day and make sure that they're doing the appropriate things to stay healthy and corona free. So should be fine. I know I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah. And you've been away for more than a year from the cage. I wanted to ask for those who don't know, what took you so long to get back inside the cage?
Yeah, I was under contract with this promotion called Combate Americas, and I got released from actually we asked for a release from my contract about a year ago,
Hmm.
April of last year. And since then, I've been inactive, but I've had opportunities to jump into other shows, other promotions, even the UFC, you know, just to put my name in the hat with other promotions. And I've had to say no every single time, not due to anything training camp wise. You know, I'm always training year round. I'm training all the time,
Hmm.
but for me, I'm a big 35er. You know, I like to think I am, anyways. I walk pretty heavy, so when I get a fight opportunity, it's kind of hard for me to say yes to a short notice fight when it comes to making the appropriate weight. So I just waited. I was a little bit more patient, and here I am. You know, a year later.
Yeah. And you know, regarding like I see that you fought five times in 2017, once in 2018 and 2019. What's the ideal amount of fights for you inside a year, and how many times do you see yourself fighting in the UFC this year?
Um, yeah, no, absolutely. So I got 4 fights in my UFC contract, so I'd like to just stay as busy as possible. You know, I'd like to ideally fight 3 or 4 times a year. You know, stay busy, but you know, whatever is best for me after this fight and the promotion or whatever it is. You know, so I'm always down to fight. Absolutely.
Hmm. And what can we expect from you and Wood in this fight? Like, do you think it's going to be a war? Do you think it's going to be a wrestling match? Do you think like what do you think the fans will expect to see from you guys on Saturday night?
You know, we're kicking off the prelims. We're the first fight of the night, so I can only assume that he's as eager to put on a show as I am. You know, so I think that it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a war for sure. I don't think it's going to be a wrestling match by any means. I don't think Wood's trying to wrestle me. I'm trying to put on a show for the fans and, you know, for everybody back home. So I think it's going to be an exciting fight.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not looking. I'm not trying to get you to look past your opponent, but let's say you do win against Wood on Saturday. Is there anybody that you're looking to maybe call out, or is there a fight that in the top 15 that makes sense for you after you beat Wood?
Not even, man. Not even close. No, I'm just focusing on this fight right now only, to be honest. There's nothing else on my mind, so.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I want to go to like your nickname, the Sexy Mexi, is honestly one of the best nicknames in the game right now. What's the story behind that nickname? How did you get it?
Yeah, in college, freshman year of college, I I gained a lot of weight. You know, freshman year of college, they say freshman 15. It was probably like a freshman 30 for me, and I opted out of wrestling and just pursued MMA full time. My coach noticed that I just lost a significant amount of weight my freshman year after I started joining the MMA team. And one day he was just, you know, jokingly saying, "Wow, you know, John, you're looking good. You're looking lean. You're looking like you're looking kind of sexy." And then he called me the Sexy Mexi one time, and after that, it kind of just stuck. You know, just a joke, obviously, nothing, you know, nothing serious, just a little fun and giggles there.
Uh-huh. And I didn't want to take much of your time because I know you have a PT soon, but what's the best thing about Fire Island so far? Have you driven any of the race cars, or like what's the adventure looking like for you right now?
Yeah, man. Just, I mean, just in general, you know, being here for the UFC, being able to make, you know, obviously the UFC is just everybody's dream. Everybody who starts MMA, everybody who starts in this sport, the main goal is to get to the UFC one day, and here we are. And that's honestly, like, that's the biggest thing I'm taking away from this week. No, I haven't done any of the extracurricular activities here at Fight Island. You know, there's race cars going on right now next door. I'm just focusing on my fight, man. That's really it, and I'm happy to do it.
Hmm. Well, thank you, John. I don't want to take much of your time, but thank you so much for you know, talking with us. I really appreciate it.
Of course, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
Hmm. Yeah, best of luck on Saturday, man. I'll be watching.